In this video, I'm going to talk about one of the most ambitious LED portable lights that are on the market today, and this one is by AMBITFUL, and it's the A1, no pun intended. Let's get right into the video. So one of the main reasons why I think this is a really ambitious type of portable LED light is for its cantilever. Now, a cantilever is it's kind of a weird name, but it's this mechanism on the back that allows it to be adjustable in many different ways. And I have not seen many LED lights with this type of feature. I'm also going to talk a little bit later on how you can leverage this cantilever to put a microphone really close to you so that it sounds really good and you just have a one stand setup to film your YouTube videos or whatever kind of videos you want to make at home. So let's cover the basic functionality of this cantilever. So obviously you can twist it in many different ways. Now you can also rotate it. And it's just super flexible. You can do so many things with it. So what's really cool about this is, let's say I want this light to be even closer to the subject as possible. So I can use this little extender arm to kind of just get it a little bit closer. Now that gives me a lot of kind of flexibility in kind of the ways I want to mount it. Maybe I want to mount it that way. Maybe I want to mount it this way. Just so much flexibility in how you want to mount this. Now, the one thing that I really like about it is that it's very easy to kind of prop this up and have it stand somewhere. And if you're going to use this as an accent light, which I may use in many cases, it is really annoying to have like a portable LED light that doesn't have a stand, because then you have to put a tripod on it, and then you're going to have to angle it towards the subject that you want to see in your background, for example. So having this little stand over here is absolutely groundbreaking. Like, it's honestly super convenient, and you'll just be using it every day when you use this light, and it's a joy to use. So let's talk about what connections you can actually attach to this. Now, there are a bunch of 1/4-inch screw threads all around this wonderful light. And what I really like is that they include one at the bottom over here, and of course on the cantilever. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have many connection points. Now, obviously you can't use them all at once, but this gives you a lot of mounting flexibilities. And I really like how convenient it is to have anything that you want to mount here. So I'm going to run some B-roll. You're going to see me mounting a microphone onto it, and you can see how useful this feature is. So by having the cantilever extended out, and then you can attach a microphone, which doesn't get in the way of the actual camera because it's mounted really high thanks to the extended arm of this light. You're able to mount the microphone and have it, you can get a little magic arm, so you can have it a little bit closer to your mouth so it sounds really good. You're going to capture that audio, kind of like when I'm speaking right now. I'm actually using a magic arm, and it's extended out really far. So you can simply mount this light on your camera with the microphone on top of it, and you have this one stand setup that's really portable, really easy to take down. It's very lightweight, and you can film your A-roll when you're filming YouTube videos, for example. So if you were to get one thing out of this video, I have to say the cantilever is probably the best feature of this light, and this is why I love it so much. Now, let's not forget to mention that this light actually looks really beautiful. I really like this slim design. It's actually really portable. You can actually easily fit this in a pocket, so you can definitely have it stowed away very easily. And it comes with a very hard metal surface, so it definitely will sustain a lot of damage if you drop it. It just feels really sturdy and well built, so really high premium qualities that are being used throughout the product. Now, one thing that I really hate on some of the previous lights I've reviewed in the past is sometimes the buttons are not very tactile, and these are things that we kind of use day to day. We want to be able to turn on the switch really easily. So I'm happy to report that this is a very tactile type of button. It's very easy to press the little buttons on the side. Nothing doesn't feel like a kind of annoying to use, cumbersome to use. Some of the smaller portable LED lights, they're just so tiny, and then some buttons are multiple uses. So you have to long press or double tap, and it's just not very intuitive at all. This is very intuitive. I love that it uses a mechanical switch over here. You can just flip that on and flip that off. So really easy to use. And of course, there's an LED display over here, and that is very legible to read. So I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, so it's a little bright. But yeah, you can see over here, it's very easy to swap between different effects. I'm actually holding it upside down. Let's put the brightness down. So by pressing the set button on the side, you can swap between the brightness percentage, and you can go in increments of 1%. So this is what 1% looks like. I really like that. You can have very fine grained control of your light. And then if you press the set button one more time, you can toggle into the Kelvin temperature. And this is really important if you want to be matching the environmental lighting that you have. So let's say everything right now is set to 5500 Kelvin. I can just easily set it to 5500 Kelvin right here. So just in a couple taps, and you can see 5500 Kelvin. So that's really easy to use. Now you can toggle between different kind of effects. Here you can go and change the colors and whatnot. Now there's all types of special effects you can do, like paparazzi, lightning, and all that type of stuff. Some of it can be can induce a seizure, so just be really careful in how you use it. But yeah, overall, it's really easy to use. You can also adjust the speed of which the effect is taking place. So that's really cool if you want to have some cool glowing lights in the background. But for me personally, I just like to have a little accent light. By the way, we'll cover how this actually is used as a key light and how this is used as an accent light in the background later in this video. So we'll do full test coverage. And in fact, I'll be comparing it with a very similarly priced type of LED light, and that's the Aputure F7. Now, this is one of my favorite lights. One of the things I don't like about it is that it's really heavy and clunky. It's really big. You can see that it has this really large ball mount that, you know, you can obviously swap it for a different one, but for me, it's just too big. You're going to have a separate battery. And this, if you compare the two side by side, they're about almost the same size. Let me turn off the light here. You can see that they're about the same size almost. Obviously, the AMBITFUL A1 is a lot thinner, sleeker, and obviously sexier in design. Now, in terms of the weight, this one is definitely a whole 100 grams lighter than the other one, and that's including the ball mount and the battery inside. So that's another use case that I'll be using the AMBITFUL A1 is to actually just mount it on top of the camera and kind of a run and gun situation. Maybe you're filming B-roll and just want to have a really quick, easy light that's on you all the time. This is definitely big enough to actually light up a scene. Not too small. It's definitely a lot powerful, but it's also not as big as this one. Now this one is a little bit brighter. The aperture light is about 5,000 lux at 0.5 meters. This one here is about 1300 lux at 0.5 meters. Let me double check. Yeah, so 1350 at 0.5 meters. Now that's still not to say that this isn't bright. This is extremely bright. We're gonna see later in this video that this performs very well in a key light situation. Now in terms of your connections, it's using USB-C. And one thing I really like about the USB-C connection is that you can actually have it plugged in while you're using it. So in cases that you forget to charge it, you can still use the light without any issues. So that's really nice and handy. Now they say it takes about 3 hours to fully charge this. It is a really large battery, about 3000 milliamps. So that's a really large battery. Now in terms of the runtime, I've had it run just shy of 2 hours at full brightness, which is extremely impressive. So you don't have to really worry about the battery. Now, of course, if you lower the brightness, it's gonna last a lot longer. So I'm very impressed with the battery performance, especially given how small this actually is. So let's talk about what's included in the box. What accessories do you get? You obviously get a very nice little pouch to protect your little case during travel. I'll set that one aside. And it comes with a very simple attachment for your cold shoe mount. And then you can just simply screw it at the bottom over here. And then from there, you can just mount it on your camera. Now, of course, you can mount this on the cantilever arm. That's a funny word, cantilever. So you can put it anywhere you wish, and then that gives you the flexibility of where you want to mount it. So definitely lots of options. Now, in my case, like I said before, you can attach a mic and have this connected to your camera. Just simply have it mounted over here. So you can mount it just like that. And then simply, and there you go, you can attach the light here, and you can have it mounted on your phone. And of course, you can swap this out with something more flexible, like maybe a little magic arm, for example. Now, another important accessory that is included in the box is a diffuser. Now, the diffuser is kind of a really simple type of design. You just flop it on here, and it actually fits really nice and snug. So you can see right here, all the cutouts are fully available, so you're not gonna block anything, your ports and stuff like that, all your buttons. And I just kind of like the design. It just really gives it a more kind of a softer look, and if you drop it, it's a little more protection. But really, it's to kind of give a more softer light on your face, so you look a little less as bad, let's just say. Okay, so we're going to be doing an accent lighting test. One of my favorite positions for this light is to put this in the background next to my tree, my little plant, and it kind of gives it more of that mystique in the background. So let's see how that looks like. Okay, so you can see over there, I just turned it on. What do you guys think in the background? It kind of just gives it more pop to the background. Sometimes my background is just so dark, kind of gloomy, and it just kind of gives it more light, and I really like that. Let's try some different special effects. Okay, so how's that? There's a little blue kind of teal light. I really like that. It kind of balances with the purple in the background. So I really like that flexibility. Okay, so right now I'm actually running a full effect on. The effects have some kind of transitions. It kind of moves in and out, and you can adjust the speed of the effect. So you can have it kind of move fast or move slow. Right now it's set to slow, so it doesn't seem too jarring, too distracting. The color kind of just gently shifts, kind of like a little fire. Okay, so now the effect is on fast. I've just skipped the normal one. What do you guys think of that? It's a little too distracting in the background. I don't know. If I did a whole video review of this light, would that be distracting? I don't know. Okay, so now that must be really annoying to see in the background. It's just like a paparazzi flash kind of lightning type of effect. So yeah, you can have a lot of fun with these effects. Especially if you're going to be in a more creative filming space. Let's say you're filming a movie and you do need these effects. I think it's going to be very useful for you. As I mentioned before, there are a ton of special effects. I'm going to just post a little picture of all the special effects they go through. Now, they personally gave me a big headache because I don't really use that feature that much. I'm not filming like cinematic movies, but if you were to do that, let's say you need a lightning in the background or some cool lights in the background, it's definitely very useful and easy to use. Now, AMBITFUL does allow you to connect this to their app. And then from there on your Android or iOS phone, you can simply just control all the toggles. So you can control the scenes, you control the different types of effects, and of course change the temperature of your light and the brightness of your light. Now, I personally don't use the app as much. I actually don't use it at all because I find using the tactile buttons just more easy to use, not having to go into my phone and kind of turn it on. And given that the battery lasts so long, I don't have to worry about turning this on and off. It's just really easy with a switch. The app is there if you want to use it, but I personally don't use it. But it's definitely a good replacement if you don't have the remote or if you don't want to buy their proprietary remote that can connect to this. Okay, for the next part, I'm going to be using the AMBITFUL A1 light as a key light. I'm going to turn off my main one right here. And then we're going to be seeing how this performs with the Aputure F7, which is this light over here. So let's go into the comparison. And this will be with the diffuser on. Okay, so right now I actually have the key light on me and it's the AMBITFUL A1. And now this is set to 5500 Kelvin and the current brightness is set to around 71%. I have to say there's plenty of power for this to act as a key light. I feel like my face is fully illuminated perfectly fine and it does a really good job. Now I have it straight onto me. Obviously you can have it to the side to give it more of a more cinematic type of look with my, like kind of similar to what I had with my other main light. But for purposes of this demonstration, I'm just gonna have it shoot straight at me. Now other ways to use this light is to actually have this bounce off of, let's say, a white wall. And that's gonna give you a bigger light source because it's gonna spread all against the wall and overall it's gonna give a more softer type of look. Now another tip to get the best lighting effect is to have the light as close as possible because the further away it is, it's gonna cast more harsh shadows and maybe that's something that you're not looking for. So I have to say within arm's reach at 35 millimeters, I think that's the furthest I wanna go when I'm self-filming because I then otherwise cannot see the actual monitor. So I think this is a really good distance. The light is performing very well. It's definitely bright enough at this distance. It definitely can go a little bit further, but I like to have it this close. I think this is a more practical scenario, having the light this close, about maybe 3 feet away from me. Okay, in this case, we switched to the Aputure F7 light. How does this look in comparison to the AMBITFUL A1? For me personally, based on my post-production results, I didn't really see much difference. I think they both perform really well. In terms of the color accuracy, I think they're about the same, so I'm very pleased with both results. And definitely it's going to be better using the smaller, lighter one because I don't need such a big light on my camera. Now, one of the main reasons why I like to have such a small little light is if I'd say, for example, I want to use this on my Sony ZV-1. This is a little tiny compact point and shoot camera. I really like it to take it outside, but sometimes just putting that Aputure F7 light that I have right now, it's just too big and clunky, and I'm kind of afraid of it kind of like bending the metal here, for example, because this is a little tiny puny camera. So I think this light is a really good balance between the size and the performance and the light output it has and the small form factor. So I'm very happy with just putting this together. But obviously this pairs well with bigger camera bodies like a Sony A7C, for example. So in conclusion, what do I have to say about the AMBITFUL A1? I have to say this is a fantastic light. The cantilever really does give that extra flexibility that I've always wanted in this bigger, bulkier light, the Aputure F7. This is definitely going to replace my light as a run and gun setup. I'm very pleased with the results of the lights. I think everything looks very soft, everything looks very normal. It does have a very high color accuracy. And that's all I have to say about the AMBITFUL light. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments about the light, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be very happy to answer your questions. I'll see you in the next video.